The Seattle Sounders are back in action with the return of MLS after their disappointing Leagues Cup campaign. But with 10 matches remaining in the regular season with the playoffs looming, can they bounce back against Atlanta United? Hello everyone and welcome back to Rave Green TV, and for today's video I'm going to be previewing the match against Atlanta United, where I will be joined by Atlanta United fan AJ from Atlanta United Fan TV to get his breakdown ahead of the match, so make sure you stick till the end for that. The last time these two teams met was in August of last year, where thanks to Andrew Gutman's banger, the Seattle Sounders suffered their first ever defeat to this club. Where in the 6 meetings we have seen the Seattle Sounders win 2, draw 3, and lose just that one match. Both teams have been in pretty poor form, with both of them embarrassingly crashing out of their Leagues Cup group, so both teams will be well rested for this match. The biggest danger man for Atlanta United this season is Argentinian World Cup winning midfielder Thiago Almada, who has 8 goals and 9 assists in 21 matches with lots and lots of banger free kicks. So pro tip for the Seattle Sounders, don't give away any silly free kicks for Thiago Almada. And as well, new signing Greek forward Georgios Giamakis, who has 10 goals in 17 matches. We mustn't forget Atlanta United is coached by former Seattle Sounders player and assistant coach Gonzalo Pineda. These final 10 matches for the Seattle Sounders, which should be the 10 matches where Brian Schmetzer, who is out of contract at the end of the season, and players who as well will be out of contract at the end of the season, or that just have underperformed that are on high wages will be fighting for their spots next year. In my eyes, Brian Schmetzer and many players should be on the hot seat with how poorly they've been for the past 2 years. The Seattle Sounders only have 4 wins in their last 18 matches, with 3 of those wins being against teams that had at least 1 player sent off in the match. That's just not good enough, and that's a very concerning stat for this team heading into the playoffs, as they're slowly slipping down the standings. If they keep up this kind of form that they've been on, I wouldn't be surprised if this team finishes in around 7th or 8th place come the playoffs. That being said, they had a long break where everyone minus Kelyn will be back for these 10 remaining matches. There realistically should be no excuses for this team with a much needed break to rest players, and pretty much everyone back and healthy for the remainder of the season. These stretch of matches will be the indicator for me if this team deserves a second chance next season, or it's just as I've been preaching, this team desperately needs a rebuild. But that's just my point of view as a Seattle Sounders fan going into this match. So let's get AJ's point of view as an Atlanta United fan. So AJ, I want to get your thoughts going into this match against the Seattle Sounders. What's the importance of it for Atlanta United, and who are some players that you're worried about from the Seattle Sounders?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely worried. It's it's an away match. We have some issues on the road, and Gonzalo Pineda is epic at worst at away form, essentially. So it is going to be a tough one for us, as kind of maybe up and down of a season that you guys have had. We just are not consistent on the road, and for us, I think Dangerman that I would be worried about from you guys, probably Jordan Morris, even though you might say differently, but he is a guy that has been performing to a degree for you guys. And I think large in part, it's just one of those things where you guys have a core that's been together for a while. And for us, we're still figuring some things out. It's not full on going to be super straightforward, and especially as well, we have 3 new guys that are coming in. How they integrate into the squad, we have no idea, but we have 10 games left, and so every game is important. It's the business end of the season. So it's going to be, I think something that I'm worried about for sure.
Something I did want to ask you was Gonzo Pineda, has been now your guys' head coach for about, I want to say, a year. I would say I think we're pretty much at that year mark for you guys. And, he used to be a former Seattle Sounders player, former Seattle Sounders assistant coach. I mean, what has things been looking like with him now being your guys' head coach? Do you think he has a future with this team? Do you see the project? Is there going to be something special with Gonzo Pineda and Atlanta United?
It's definitely almost about 2 years now, a little bit. And so I think a lot of fans are hard-pressed to see what tactically Gonzalo Pineda is really, really trying to do. He's kind of that vibes FC coach where, he's very good with the players. There is this feeling that he is, one of the people, really wants to get the fans involved to a degree of feeling like they feel like they're a piece and part of the club. But the problem is, yeah, that main bit about being a good tactical coach is super important too, even though I think, yeah, in this league, you can kind of get away with some stuff. As a head coach, you don't have to always be maybe the top tactico, I guess, for lack of a better word. But Gonzalo Pineda, I mean, yeah, he's frustrated fans because without our DPs, we usually look absolutely lost. But with our players that are either on big money or when we've had all three DPs on the pitch, usually we've looked pretty good. The problem is how often that has actually happened. And all three DPs being on the pitch, well, now we only have two right now. So, yeah, we're just constantly kind of behind the eight ball a little bit. Last season with Jose Martinez, injured for a good bit of it, or at least coming back and then falling out of favor. There's a lot of that type of that aspect where Gonzalo Pineda can't field his best 11. But even without that, you want to see the coach be able to do some stuff that at least inspires, and it's dire. It is dire when we don't have our strongest 11. We look like a completely different side, and even sometimes with Thiago Almada, yeah, I mean, he gets neutralized. He gets kind of marked out of the game, and it's something that's, I'm not really sure there's a ton of players that have gotten better under Gonzalo Pineda's reign. So there's quite a number of fans that are a little bit Pineda out. I think he's on that cusp. He's got to show some things in this stretch run. He's got to, kind of get us into the playoffs and at least into one of what our goals were early on in the season, which was make a home playoff spot. Right now we're in 7th. Not really sure he's on track to do that.
Atlanta United have not ever won in Seattle. Granted, it's a very small sample size. Atlanta United actually only have one win against Seattle, which came in the most recent fixture between the two clubs. Is it going to happen in this match? And I want your score prediction for this match.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen in this match. I think we can pull out a draw. I think it could be a 2-2 draw. You guys have been a little susceptible at home recently, right? So, yeah, we'll take a little bit of that, and we'll share the points, I think. So, some entertainment for the late Sunday night that it will be, at the very least, hopefully. But, man, like, if we lay an egg and you guys, like, smack us, that Sunday's gonna really suck.
But boys and girls, our opinion only matters so much. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. What are your guys' score predictions for this weekend's match? And we will be doing post-match fan reactions outside the Northwest Gate. So if you are attending this match, make sure to pop by if you want to give your guys' opinions on the match. Make sure to smash the like button on today's video, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I hope you'll have a lovely day.